Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Sports Bash presented by TicketBash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz, joined as always by Vinny Tickets. New episodes dropping every Friday on YouTube and also at SportsBashMedia.com and the radio version of our show at LINewsRadio.com. Vinny, always good to see you as we get ready for the Super Bowl.
Very exciting week.
And we'll talk later in the show about our programming that's going to be coming from Radio Row in Las Vegas as the 49ers get set to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58. It will be the Niners and the Chiefs, and our guest this week is also heading to Las Vegas.
Purdy under center, Juszczyk. Now Elijah Mitchell is in. They give it to Mitchell off the right side, pushing for the goal line. Is he in? Touchdown! San Francisco! Brock Purdy's going to his first Super Bowl. Just back up here, Brock. Take one or two steps back up, go down. It's over. The Niners are going to Vegas.
Our guest this week here on Sports Bash is the radio voice of the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. He is Greg Papa. Greg, it's Peter and Vinny. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us here on the show this week.
What's up, guys? I can't wait to see you in Vegas. We're going with the team on Sunday, and I'll be at Radio Row all next week, so looking forward to this.
Looking forward to seeing you, and congratulations to you. I know, the players and coaches in the NFL, their big goal obviously is to get to a Super Bowl, and for a broadcaster, it's no different for you. And I know you spent a lot of years with the Raiders. What does it mean for you as a play-by-play announcer to be able to call a Super Bowl?
Well, I really didn't do a whole lot, but I accept your congratulations. But this was fortunate. I did a Super Bowl with the Raiders. Obviously, in 2002, we got to Super Bowl 37, and didn't quite have enough that day. It was a lot of events and lost to Tampa Bay and John Gruden. And I was with the Raiders 21 years. So right after I left the Raiders, I was fortunate enough to go to the Niners. And my first year with the Niners, we went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And 20-10 lead with 7:13 to play, and they run 2-3 chip jet wasp to Tyreek Hill, and all of a sudden they're champions and got to 31 points. So Niners have been close the last couple of years. 2 years ago in the championship game, a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter against the Rams in L.A. and lost. Last year, Brock Purdy got hurt on the sixth play with the elbow injury. So we had a struggle in January to get there. The Green Bay game was a battle. The Detroit Lion game, you just heard the length of my touchdown call.
Great call, by the way.
24-7 down. That touchdown by Elijah Mitchell gave a 34-24 lead. They scored 27 unanswered and pretty much put the game away. Detroit got a touchdown late, but they were able to win 34-31. And our first preseason game this year was against the Raiders in Vegas. We went there for joint practices in Henderson. So the first words out of my mouth this year on 49ers TV and radio was, what starts in Vegas may end in Vegas. We recovered the onside kick. It was what starts in Vegas will end in Vegas. And to do it against the Raiders, a team that I know so well in their stadium, against the Chiefs. So I know the Raider Nation's not happy. Their two most bitter rivals both wear red and gold, and for different reasons. They don't like the Chiefs. They don't like the Niners, but one of them is going to win the Super Bowl on their field on Sunday night.
Absolutely. Hey, Greg, first of all, the call last week was fantastic. I mean, I don't know where you got the wind to go on that long, but it was a fantastic call. I will say that. Going into this week, what do you think are the keys for the 49ers to come out with some success? What do you think they'll need to do to keep Mahomes in check and to come out with a victory this week?
Well, it's going to be hard. They're a great team. There's no doubt. I was rooting for Baltimore in the AFC Championship game, and Baltimore came in on Christmas night and devoured the 49ers. So we know they're good, but this team is just special. And it starts with that quarterback. He's just, He doesn't play many bad games. And even when he's having one, like against us in Super Bowl 54 in Miami, then he came alive and pulled it out. He's just special. You want to get a pass rush on him, but the pass rush does not seem to bother him. I think the teams that play him the toughest, and, Buffalo's had their heartaches against him, but Buffalo has beaten him 3 times in the regular season. I think you want to drop it and play coverage, and just make him hold the ball as long as he can, and then see if he can cover up his eligibles. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore, so that's a change, but he does have Kelsey. So it's hard to get to him, Kelsey, because he's such a great route runner, and then he's such a great improviser. He doesn't even run routes all the time that are standard in the route tree. He just makes them up. He just feels the defense, and he slips and slides away from it. He reminds me a lot of Antonio Gates, the Charger tight end, where not the fastest guy, but just finds a way to use his body to shield you and makes tough catches with defenders draped all over him. So Charvarius Ward, our corner, is a former Chief. Would you put a corner on him and follow him around? We'll play a lot of zone in this game. Maybe you put size on him and try to, put him with your best corner, because he's the number one guy. They've got Rashee Rice, the young guy. They've got Marquez Valdez-Scantling and McCole Hardman and former Niner Richie James. They got good players, but to me, the key thing is to take Kelsey away. And how do you do that? It's so hard. And then I think on offense, you want to run the ball at them. Their defense is the best Spags has had there. But I think you can run on them some and play keep away. What's the best way to deal with an offense? And I know the numbers are not what they used to be, but it's still Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid. Come on. So, you want to get 30, 35 runs on them and try to possess the ball for 35 minutes or plus, and let Mahomes, like the rest of America and the world, watch the Super Bowl from the sideline.
We're talking to Greg Papa, radio voice of the 49ers. It's the 49ers and the Chiefs in Super Bowl 58 on February 11th in Las Vegas. Greg, you talked about Brock Purdy a little bit, and he's just an unbelievable story. Me and Vinny are both huge Jets fans, and the Jets can't get this quarterback thing right. High draft picks. We draft Sam Darnold. We draft, all these guys, high picks in the first round, and you guys get Brock Purdy with the last pick in the draft, and you got yourself a franchise quarterback here. How unbelievable has his story been for you?
One of the greatest stories in American sport. I mean, obviously the Kurt Warner story, and he won a Super Bowl, had a chance in a few others, but Kurt was older. Kurt, the Arena League and playing in Europe and stocking shelves. By the time he made it to the NFL, he was 27. Brock just had his 24th birthday. Last year he was 23. And I think we've had undrafted guys, Brad Johnson, and win Super Bowls, but I think it's a better story that Brock was drafted and he was the very last pick of the whole draft.
Incredible.
I mean, the best Mr. Irrelevant was Ryan Suckup, the Chiefs punter, and he's not even their kicker. He's not even there anymore. It's Butker. So this is, for Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, to make it to a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. No, Mr. Irrelevant's even played meaningful snaps at quarterback in the NFL. For him to make it to the game and now go against Mahomes, it's an amazing story. It really is. Now, he's going to have to play well. This defense Kansas City has, their corners are L'Jarius Sneed and McDuffie in the slot and Reed at safety and the linebackers and the whole thing. They come at you. Chris Jones and Karlaftis, and losing a Menahue's is going to be a loss for them. And we know him well, being a former Niner, but Brock just finds a way, and he's so smart. The way he runs the entirety of the offense, his arm is good enough to make big time throws. Does he throw it as well as Mahomes? Who does? Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable, but he's there. He's not going to flinch at the moment, so we'll see how he can do. But it's an amazing story. And by the way, our backup to Brock is Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I know, and I'm thinking about bringing my Sam Darnold Jets jersey out to Las Vegas and wearing it on Radio Row one day. What do you think of that?
I will get him to sign it. I love Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I think he's big time talent. He's had big, he's had mono 1 year and just assortment of injuries. He played well with Carolina last year. I thought he was great with us in the off-season training camp. He got in the last game of the year when Brock played against the Rams. His first half, if you want to get sad, go watch him play that first half. He was great.
Yeah.
So,
Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. We never get it right, but the 49ers have always gotten quarterbacks right for the most part.
Well, going back to Frankie Albert, we traded Y.A. Tittle years ago, and the ultimate is obviously Joe and Steve. And for a while, spinning your wheels with Alex Smith and Kaepernick. They were both great players, Jack Garcia. And Alex Smith has got ties to both teams. He was 49. Obviously played really well for Andy, and then he was on the team for 1 year when Mahomes was a rookie, and then Mahomes took over the next year.
Greg, thank you so much for giving us a few
Greg.
minutes. Congratulations, and we will see you on Radio Row in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Come find me. I can't wait to hang out with you guys. We'll see you in Vegas.
Absolutely. Greg
Thanks,
Papa,
Greg.
radio voice of the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, joining us here on Sports Bash. We'll be back with more of our show, our ticket giveaway, WizKid Vinny. It's all coming up. Sports Bash, presented by Ticketbash.com. We're coming back with more. Welcome back to Sports Bash, presented by Ticketbash.com. I'm Peter Schwartz. Vinny Tickets will rejoin me in just a moment with our ticket giveaway and more of a look at what our programming is going to be like during Super Bowl week at Radio Row in Las Vegas. WizKid Vinny is here with us for his weekly segment. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 54 that the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Indeed, there's a lot of similarity between that season and this season, including Lamar Jackson being the MVP, the Niners and the Ravens being the 1 seeds. The Niners had to beat 2 NFC North teams to get here, and we have a quarterback that won their second conference championship in the Super Bowl. The last time was Mahomes. This time was Purdy.
By the way, quick fact about Super Bowl 54, it was the only Super Bowl that I ever watched on an airplane because my cousin was getting bat mitzvahed in Florida, and we were on the plane home during the Super Bowl. It was the only time that I watched the Super Bowl on an airplane. Go ahead.
Yes. In fact, also that year was the 100th anniversary of the NFL. So before the game, they had the 100th anniversary team that a whole bunch of people voted on, and they all wore their red jackets. And the game started, and it was close at first. For the first half, it was a 10-10 game. And then in the third quarter, the Niners made it a 20-10 game. But then halfway through the fourth quarter, you had jet chip wasp, which was the big throw from Patrick Mahomes to Tyreek Hill, which led to a touchdown, and the defense stopped Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense of the Niners, and they scored 2 more unanswered touchdowns. And finally, Andy Reid won a Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes won Super Bowl MVP. And to this day, they've now gone to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls, looking to earn themselves their 3rd championship.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable run. Thank you very much, Vinny. As we look forward to the rematch in Las Vegas on February 11th, Super Bowl 58, the first Super Bowl that will ever be played in Las Vegas. And, people that have been, Vinny, to Vegas before, just for the week of the Super Bowl, there's a lot of people that, even though the Super Bowl was never there, the atmosphere in Vegas during Super Bowl week, when the game wasn't there, was always incredible. People going to the sports books and all the hotels. It almost became an unofficial
It's
Super
a destination. It absolutely
even when they
is.
didn't have a game. And now that the game is there, and I was looking at some stories about how they're closing some streets and things like that, and have this all mapped out. And I've been to Super Bowls where things were done really, really well. I've been to Super Bowls where things were not done very, very well. I am really excited and looking forward to seeing how Vegas responds to this.
Yeah, it's actually pretty rare because I will say, and I've been to a bunch of different events as you have. I will say that the NFL does a fantastic job, from the NFL experience to the tailgate party that they throw, the entertainment. I mean, everything they do is really top notch.
And I'll tell you this, first Super Bowl that I covered, I guess in the post 9/11 era, was at the Dallas Super Bowl, Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
The snowstorm.
And it was, the snowstorm.